Morning. Good morning. Happy new moon, everyone. Hello, hello. Time to activate the chat. Hi, sweethearts. Oh, it's amazing to see you already in the chat.
Hello, hello.
Welcome, welcome. Amazing, beautiful Leo extraordinaire, Casey Zabala. It's so awesome to have you back for another new moon broadcast. Good morning.
Good morning. It's so good to be here. As
How's
always.
the audio, everybody? I always like to do a quick little audio check in our audience, just to make sure you can hear us nicely. How is that when you can't see because you don't have your glasses on, but you're looking for your glasses? Hi, Amy. Oh my goodness. How's it going, sweeties? Can you hear us okay? There's a teeny little delay in the chat. Good. Thank you so much. Thank you, GL Gawk. I like that. I hope I said that okay. That's a great name. Thanks for being here, sweethearts. Casey and I created this space, and it was actually Casey's suggestion, like yonder a different pandemic ago.
Yeah.
And it's so special to be in this backside of our lovers year, creating these new moon broadcasts with everybody. So if you want to kind of track with us, because our digital space is real, you might want to grab your Book of Shadows, your tarot deck for sure. We have a really cool tarot prompt and activity for everybody that really does celebrate the back end of our lovers year, which this is the tarot lovers year. And grab a candle because we're going to jump right in with lighting our ritual candle together. I just want to check in because um, I don't have like Leo in my big three, but I'm in love with a Leo in their big three. My son is a Leo rising, so I get that fabulous experience of getting like the Leo lifestyle. It literally is like a way of living in my everyday life. And so I want to check in before we light our ritual candle while folks are gathering their stuff. How is this Leo season grabbing you, Casey? Especially because you just got your graduate degree and you just have so many gorgeous things coming up and a new level of Leo rest and play. How does it feel?
It feels good, you know? I think the Cancer season was a really good kind of emotional cleansing time for me, letting go, crying, because that's what you do in Cancer season. Uh,
Yes.
and now Leo just feels like, oh, okay, we can just be. We can just be in the sunshine. We can be in our creativity. And that's what I've been focusing on. So feels really good.
Wonderful. Well,
Yeah.
happy almost birthday to you, honey. I hope you have a day planned or not that feels totally true to exactly where you are right now, because this is like a new reality for you. A brand new, like you're not a student unless, I don't know, did you sign up for some other like PhD program or something?
Not yet. I'm really tempering myself. Yeah.
Right? You're already in the groove, right? But
You know,
happy birthday.
thank you. My one of my teachers says that the pagan or like the most important pagan holiday is your birthday, which I really love.
I love that too.
Because it's like your own rebirth cycle. You're starting this new, really important, very personal cycle. So
Yeah.
um, shout out to all the Leos out there with birthdays coming up.
Absolutely. Just wow. I mean, first of all of us really do like gather at the communal watering hole of the Lioness at the Modern Witches Confluence Instagram space because it's amazing. It's brought a true community together. And the image and the post that you created for our gathering today with like the amazing moonlit whiskers of the kitty reaching for the moon. I
We do.
just can't even tell you, like, never stop.
Yeah,
Please never stop. No matter what happens in this world, never stop. That's literally one of my favorite images. Like,
I
there's
know.
just nothing better than that image.
It was like mining for gold, and I found a little nugget. And I'm so
Literally, and it just so many feelings. I literally burst out when I saw it, just so thrilled. All right, sweetheart, so let's gather now in the name of love, and for me, that means striking a wooden match and lighting our ritual candle. Quick little shout. tonight in my Worldwide Coven Witchcraft Club over on Patreon, I'll be creating our monthly bespoke candle service. And I always have a special central candle that I light. And look at it for tonight. Is that just gorgeous? I found it in like a teeny boutique that's literally called Luna Bee by my house. Come on now. And it's the perfect little local artisan candle that's our central flame for our bespoke candle service tonight. So excited about that. So I just wanted to show you and put it next to the simplicity of this little sunflower that's growing in my back garden right now. We're going to talk about the power of the sunflower today as well. And then show you a little bit of crystal support, because it can be kind of mind bending when we're in the Leo new moon, because there's this joy, this happiness and excitement, and yet it's your new moon. You get to lay your burdens down on this day. Do it your way. Like Casey talked about, celebrating the most important pagan holiday, which is your birthday. Every new moon is different. And the Leo new moon says, really do it your way. Really. So I have a hematite little candle holder. Hematite is a powerful stone to bring you into attention for what your needs are. And in the chat, please describe what sunflower means to you, what hematite means to you. Share with each other, share your brilliance. I hope that you're gathered to share what you know and what you love, and maybe not think of it as a hierarchical situation where we're the teachers and you're the student. No, you are a genius and we need you here. So share what you know. Light your candle now, sweeties. And I light this candle, I'm trying at least, in the name of love, in perfect love and perfect trust, to alert our spirit guides, which are us. You are spirit and spirit is you, of our presence. We're here, we're open, we're listening, and we're ready to receive the messages that are meant for us. If it pings for you, it's for you. Okay? If you feel it, if you have a sensation, it's for you. So there's our gorgeous ritual candle. And I think you'll be able to see if I place it right here, sweethearts. There we go.
In that pyrite glimmering in the back. I love it.
Yeah, amazing. All right, sweeties. So what you drinking today? Everybody share in the chat. That's the easiest way to share your beloved craft and your practice, is how are you nurturing yourself? What are you drinking? Casey, what you got?
I got 2 beverages today because that's my vibe. So
Yeah.
I got water because it's hot where I am, and coffee because it's my
Well
ritual.
done. Yeah, it is, because it's blood, the blood of life.
Mm-hmm.
I've got the old school Good Earth tea. Everybody know? Does anyone remember that Good Earth was like the only granola health food restaurant chain in the 70s? I mean, I don't know when it started. I think it's a California thing, but they're not around now, but their tea lives on. It's probably the most money they've ever made with the least headaches. You know what I mean? Being a business owner, I know these things. So I'm really happy to be drinking Good Earth tea. It's beautiful. It's got orange peel and cinnamon. It's beautiful.
I love Good Earth tea. That brings me back to my childhood.
Did you go to Good Earth restaurants?
I
Do you
think
remember them?
yeah, like when I was in the Bay Area.
Yeah. I don't even know if they exist anymore. I didn't mean to go down that rabbit hole. So, sweeties, I'm going to look at my notes. Casey wrote down some wonderful things that we can share today about Leo season, and please dig right in. You have created some amazing posts and newsletters lately that embody and talk about what it is to embody these times and the energy of this time right now. So please feel free to share. And I don't want to put you on the spot, but your last newsletter, the Modern Witches Confluence newsletter, is just absolutely beautiful. It talked about some of the planetary aspects and placements and astrology of this time. And if you feel comfortable sharing, love to soak that up.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, so I mean, this new moon is quite a potent one, just because Well, it's a beautiful new moon in Leo, and it's also being activated by Jupiter. And so Jupiter's in a trine with this new moon. And so Jupiter just comes in and sort of magnifies everything. It brings in this layer of richness. So I think it's a really important time to dig into that like sensual experience of your magic. And to dream big, like allow yourself to expand if that feels comfortable and right for you, into the future. Like project yourself into a healed future, and see what it feels like, and see, like, dream
Wow.
into it. Because I think that is so much of the medicine we need right now, is big, big healed dreams that can sort of support us as we're going through this really also very challenging energy that is forcing us to really shift a lot of our systems and structures, um,
Ooh.
which is like scary and hard. But if we can be in that Leo kind of sensual, playful, dreamy place with it, I think we can really do some crazy magic together. So that's my hope.
I love that. You know, when we talk about the overwhelm of acknowledging systems that need shifting and need overhauls, really, one thing that I think is phenomenal about Leo energy, and I say that, I mean, I wish you could see Juniper right now. She's about to jump up onto the windowsill next to me and is just so focused. One thing about Leo energy is it begins with itself. Leo is excellent about acknowledging their needs and fulfilling them. That feline energy of the levels of care, the levels of rest of your own personal needs, it can't be ignored. All right. Like ignoring the food that you don't want, literally just turning from it. I mean, I learned I'm new with feline energy. I really didn't acknowledge my son's Leo rising nature till kind of late in the game, to be honest with you, from really just slowing TF down during the pandemic and being stuck together. We got really into astrology together. We adopted a black cat, a little kitten that was right around the corner from our house in 2020. And I have learned so much from this non English speaking, highly communicative little baby about what I need. This is the latest thing that we've been doing in my family. We all like give Juniper so much love. That's our kitty's name. And she doesn't seek it out and will just sit there quietly and maybe stare at you. And my daughter said that that means that it's time to give love. And then just the amount that she gets massaged, loved, cooed over, and she is not a purring cat, so we don't even get feedback on it. But if she doesn't bail, that means keep going. So my husband and I have been doing that to each other. I said to him the other night, just come and love me like you just love Juniper, and I'm going to look in one direction straight ahead and just receive it. It was really hard to do.
Oh
It
my
was
God.
hard to just sit there and receive it. I love the feline energy of truly accepting only what you want, need, and can have right then and there, because it's about yourself. And what a better time than the new moon to really center what it is that you prefer.
Yes, I love that so much because
Really, the name of the game is your sensitivity, your ability to be there and hear and acknowledge what it is that you need. Your sensitivity is your power. And I come from my family of origin where my sensitivity was deeply shamed every day. And it turns out my resilience, which kicks in a different part of my chart, um, has kept me constantly asking why is sensitivity weakness? Why do I have to be quiet? Why is it that I need to stop thinking so deeply about things? And so asking questions is like a great new moon practice too. Interview slash interrogate criticisms that you've heard about you. Be there for your sensitivities. I think that that's ultimate feline thing to do. Walk away if you don't like the taste of that. If you don't prefer something, if it's not the perfect temperature, literally turn away. Put that tail up in the air and walk away.
Mhm. Yes, I think too, the sensitivity is where we get so much of our psychic, intuitive insight and information. And
Mhm.
I think it can be hard to access that sensitivity in times of like overwhelm or overwork, which I'm sure we've all experienced or are currently experiencing. So, just like a note to really treat yourself on this new moon, do something fun, you know, do like a spa day at your home. I don't know, do something that just kind of allows you to drop in so that you can actually feel your sensitivities again.
Oh, beautiful. I mean, I don't even know if we can on the spot take a moment to share in the chat what it is that you know about yourself because of your sensitivity. What did it take your body just totally signaling over and over and over again for you to really get it? And because of your sensitivity, you could receive that. I don't even know if I can answer that question myself on the spot. Holy cow.
I know that's a really
Um,
good question, though.
is it soft launch time?
Sure. Yeah, I guess the other part of this astrology that ties into my soft launch announcement um, is that we have Uranus and Mars conjunct the North Node. And this is a big transit for us. The North Node is the place of kind of progress, it's our purpose, our direction forward. Um, and Uranus is a liberator. Mars is fire and motivation. So there's a lot of energy around moving into the future, progressing
Yes.
forward.
Like a piercing space that moves the future open for you to
Yeah.
propel.
And we have to do it in a radical way. We can't do it in the same ways that we've been doing it because Uranus is there, who is the liberator. They kind of come in and they say, actually, this is the radical new way we're going to think about it and do it. So
I agree.
there's a lot of big changes happening in everyone's life, just
Yes.
as a side. And as modern witches, as an organization, we've had to make some decisions too about our energy and where we're putting our energy moving forward. And for me, as the kind of, I don't know, sometimes I think of myself as like a shepherd of modern witches. I don't know.
I
But
like
someone
that.
bringing all of us together on some level. I've realized that it's time for a break, time for some real, actual rest.
Actual.
Actual rest. So, Modern Witches will not be doing any big gathering in October. There's some sadness for me
Of
in
course.
that too. I really would like it to be the case that we could do that, but
Mhm.
it feels like it's time for our field to lie fallow so that
Yes.
we can like really regenerate and come
Mhm.
back with a
Mhm.
stronger vision and a stronger container for everyone.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I don't know why this is coming to my mind, but I saw an interview with Joni Mitchell. I know you love Joni Mitchell, so this is probably why.
Deeply.
But she was asked, like, oh, how do you kind of maintain all your mediums as an artist? And she said something like, well, I'll write poems until that needs to stop, and then I'll start painting, and then until that needs to stop, and then I'll write music. And it's all about crop rotation. She literally talked about her art practice as crop rotation, which
Oh,
I loved.
yes.
So that's where we're at. We're in the fallow state.
Beautiful. I
Yeah.
love that. Casey, you and I are music fans and Joni Mitchell. I'm so glad you brought up the Queen. I love that so, so much. Um, Glastonbury goes fallow as a practice. The big music festival in the UK, Glastonbury, truly to honor the land. Now, I live very near Coachella, which has just grown out, down, up, all around. There is so much charm around that grind of that festival. So I just want to tell you, you have more than my support. You have my love and awe because it's not easy to do something that's unique, like honoring your actual body. And you do that and you allow us to do it too. And you allow us to interview and interrogate our own systems when you do that, Casey. So thank you. Honestly, thank you for
Thank you.
that.
Oh, it's honestly such a joy to have created this community of witches
Mhm.
and to have connected with everyone because there is some shared energetic understanding, which
Mhm.
is so crucial
Yeah,
to living our lives in these times.
it's
Yeah.
real.
And thank you to everyone in the chat. So nice.
Oh, it is wonderful to see everybody. I'm just going to feature a couple of the comments in just a second. I want to say a couple of more things about Leo energy that I adore and appreciate. Now, Leo is a fire sign, as we all know, and fire and cauldrons are kind of the primary witches' sort of healing space and modality and tools, right? Some of us have little tiny cauldrons that we actually burn things in. At least we fire up our cauldron, with a built fire. And these practices, they're taught from generation to generation. And this is an amazing time right now where we're creating digital spaces where we have the opportunity to look back and examine and interrogate, interview our practices. So in so many ways, witchcraft itself is multi-generational, where sometimes we look at it like when I came up, it was called Maiden, Mother, and Crone, that sacred trio. I've heard other expressions now where it's the querent, the practitioner, and the sage. I've heard a lot of ways that we're talking about that sacred trio in new ways. But no doubt about it, I feel like Leo season is multi-generational time, especially in the Northern Hemisphere, because we can be outside. And no matter if you're a baby or if you're an elder, outside is a comfortable place in these months where we've got longer days of sunshine. And so without a doubt, when multi generations are together, there's a real opportunity to learn from each other. And there's an opportunity for a lot of shit to come up in families. So if you're feeling like there's a lot of things that have come up in either your neighborhood, your family of origin, you are right on time. And the new moon is a great time for you to really listen to the way you prefer things to be. Your voice is important. Your story is important. And it's a really important time to admit to yourself in your gorgeous book of shadows the way you like things. And when we talk about preferences, one of the greatest things you can do in summer months is to read and relax with yourself. Taking some time to take in media the way it works for you, either with like a book on, we used to call it book on tape, but I know it's called audio books now. I can't help with my older language every once in a while. And we just did a huge clean out in Cancer season in this house to
Mm.
get rid of stuff to make space for other dreams. And I got rid of so many books on tape, y'all. It used to have been one of the things I would do before I would take a flight. I would show up early and buy a book on tape to listen to in my Walkman on my flight. I got rid of so many books on tape. It was crazy. But we wanted to kind of open up the chat to some of your favorite summer reads in spaces that Casey and I have. Even though, yes, there's the soft launch that there won't be an in-person gathering for Modern Witches Confluence this year in San Francisco. Um, there's still a fabulous way to gather and support Modern Witches, which is on their Patreon, which is super easy to access. Um, I hope I don't disrupt it if I put it in the chat. I think I can do that pretty easily on the app that we're on right now. But Casey, totally feel free to put the Modern Witches Patreon in the chat if you'd like to. At the very least, sign up for the Modern Witches Confluence newsletter, which is gorgeous and plentiful. And it's Casey's beautiful writing so often. It's just gorgeous writing. But if you would like to, send that little virtual witch's brew mug of tea their way, you can sign up for like $5, or you can gather with other witches for $13. I'm, of course, in the Modern Witches Coven, which I absolutely adore. And the ways that we can gather are really healthy and strong when we can gather at a distance right now.
Yeah.
It's important to
It is.
really be there for your body and really take good care of your body.
Yeah, I feel like we need to fortify each other in these ways, and these ways that we're doing right now. It's just so special.
Exactly.
And I love that you brought in the cauldron. I feel like you kind of invoked Caradwen, which is like this really transformational
Yeah.
spirit deity from the Celtic tradition,
Yeah.
who brings transformation. And
Yeah.
here we are, transformation is here, and it can also be playful and fun in Leo
If
season.
you know what Caradwyn's relationship is with vapor and smoke, what is it about Caradwyn where doesn't she show through smoke? Can't we scry and invoke Caradwyn's knowledge and wisdom through smoke? I can't totally remember. I'm so glad you brought up Caradwyn. I love Caradwyn. I used to hang out with a witch that invoked Caradwyn all the matter of fact. On the full moon, sorry for the airplane going by. On the full moon, um, the big blue moon on Halloween night in, gosh, was that the year 2001? I forget now, and it's so important to me. We had a big thing that showed up with this person, this witch I used to hang out with, that invoked Caradwen. What's your Caradwen knowledge since it got brought up? I hate
Yeah.
to put you on the spot, but I love it too.
Oh, no, it's fine. There's a story about now I can't remember, but the Welsh bard who becomes like the most famous Welsh bard. Why can't I remember? Talisman.
Okay.
So they are taken kind of as Caradwyn's like errand person, and their
Mm.
task is to stir the cauldron of transformation as she's making this amazing transformative like magical potion that's taking a year and a day. And on the last day, Taliesin accidentally is stirring, and a drop of it comes and hits them on the skin, and so they immediately put it to their mouth. They take the potion, and all of a sudden they have all these magical powers. And Caradwen and Taliesin start this like race where they keep shape shifting and transforming, and they're
Wow.
chasing each other,
Oh,
um, until finally Caradwen eats Taliesin, um,
oh,
and gives
love.
birth to him again. It's this very crazy. It's like this crazy
Incredible.
shifting transformation thing. Um,
Life, death, and life again.
yeah, rebirth. So
Incredible.
that's my 2 minute synopsis.
But honestly, it just sparks our ability to do that beautiful reading research on our ancestry and these gorgeous stories. When we gather around our flame, we gather around our cauldrons in this digital way where we're safe and cozy. I hope everybody's curled up. I could care less if you pulled over on the side of the road in your car right now and we're on your telephone. I love how witches gather in so many unique ways right now. Yes, Modern Witches Confluence in person in San Francisco is beyond the finest gathering of witches I've been to, and I've been to a lot. Mind-blowing, transformational, all the things we're talking about, and maybe it'll ride again someday, and I'm open to how we're transforming and honoring the reality of the moment that we're in. So, talking about fave books, I love that we're like starting with these beautiful ancestral stories, these beautiful stories of our lineage, which could spark really great books to read. Casey, you want to share some of your favorite books?
Sure.
And remember that in both of our Patreon covens, we celebrate books and reading. So if you're a book witch, you are so welcome to gather with us.
Yes, please do come. I'll probably add this list to our Patreon and add a few more. But um,
Awesome.
so the first one that's in alignment with what they're talking about, is Cinderbiter. And it's poems
Oh,
by
wow.
Martin Shaw and Tony Hoagland.
Wow.
And it's really beautiful kind of iterations on Celtic myth turned into really long form. Some of them are long form poems, some of them are shorter. But it's really fun, beautiful way to kind of get into that like Celtic spirit if that's something you're into.
It's gorgeous. I love that cover so much.
I'm really into Martin Shaw. They are an amazing kind of mythographer, if that's a word.
Yeah, that's a great word. It is now.
Yeah. And then, okay, maybe I'm just a poem person at the moment, but I'm also really into Linda Gregg at the moment, who is a beautiful
Ooh.
poet who spent a lot of time in Greece, and their poems are very much inspired by mythology as well.
Ooh, that's new to me. I don't know that name.
Beautiful poems, really, really beautiful poems. They're a bit, I don't know if they're still with us, but this was published in 1991, for instance.
Mm.
So yeah,
Such a rich time for witches. I love 90s witchcraft so
yeah,
much. I can't even tell you.
amazing.
Yeah, so amazing.
And my final just thing that I've been dipping back into and really loving is Sister Outsider, Audre
Oh,
Lorde.
yeah, so amazing.
So, this is, I really loving the poems and the essays right now in particular because you can just get a chunk and
Yeah,
chew on it.
it's
Um,
true.
but this is really just, inspiring me again to just really look at my privilege,
Mhm.
um, and just think about like what world we could be creating, a more safe and just place.
Absolutely. New moons are time for dreaming and to initiate new ideas. It doesn't have to be a new action. It's about resting and initiating a new idea. And I love a new moon for sharing the possibilities of what you're divining, what you're dreaming, planting those seeds and just dreaming. I love sharing spiritual downloads and actual physical dreams on the new moon. And I have had this long enactment in 2022 of downloads where I just know I'm not afraid anymore. I know that I'm in my purpose. I know that what's happening is right, and that this story lives in my bones. And when I return to the earth, this part of life, that is this animal body of mine, will echo that story beneath the surface to grow whatever the new way is that we can thrive um, as part of Earth. However, we're transforming as a species, I'm about it. I feel good about it. I'm just saying, even though there's so many horrors and so much pain right now, and I'll never stop fighting for justice, and I'll never stop participating in shifting our world to my gargantuan spells dream, where everyone is sheltered and everyone is fed and everyone has their agency. And when I rest, I find the way through it. I can't do it when I'm not rested. I used to be able to do it unrested, but I can't anymore. Bless you. Are you sneezing?
Yeah, sorry.
Cute. One of my fave books is the fabulous Numinous Tarot Guide, a new way to read the cards by the amazing Rashonda Tramble, who's a friend of Casey and mine, and they're part of my Worldwide Coven Witchcraft Club. This book is absolutely mandatory. It's gorgeous to look at. It's a combination of descriptions of the cards and also personal essays by Rash. I love this book so much. So I'll just show you the little ISBN if you feel like you want to do a little screen grab. I also featured in the chat, wonderful Emily said their book that they recommend is When Women Were Dragons by Kelly Barnell is good, they said, and timely, which is great. And I can feature other things in the chat too, because I'm learning how to use this cool little app, sweeties. In my witchcraft club, part of it is the Belladonna Book Club. And these are the featured books for our summer reading, which I featured last time that we gathered for the new moon. We always pull a card and then we read the fabulous magic of Rash in the Numinous Tarot Guide, which is great. So that's kind of our foundation, our tarot foundation. You stick around and we'll show you the cool tarot prompt we have for the new moon. I just finished reading Crying in H Mart by the fabulous Michelle Zahner, who's the singer and creator of the fabulous band Japanese Breakfast. Awesome, amazing book, especially if you're a person in a grief experience or who has a little bit of trouble connecting with their grief. This is like a grief guidebook about them losing their mother. And also there's so much food in this book too. It's a really gorgeous new moon book. Highly, highly recommend. We're also reading my friend Maritza Rubio's book of short stories called Maria, Maria, and Other Stories. I mean, talk about book art. Look at that gorgeous cover. This is a fabulous book. It's their first published book of short stories. It is talk about new moon practice of picking up poems and short stories. That's a really, really gorgeous thing to do. If you don't have like long periods of time to give yourself rest, take the rest that you can on the new moon. And we're also digging into the beautiful book Rain of Gold by Victor Villaseñor, which is the story of his grandmother's movement through Mexico and into California. And it's a story of resilience. There's also lots of food and desire for food and recipes throughout these books. They're just beautiful. I love books that have stories about food in them. Always. Always.
Taurus rising, right? That's
full on.
You know?
So much Venus snacking going on. It's not even funny. I'm going to look through the chat here at other little books. Did anything else come to mind, Casey? Casey, in your Patreon, in the Modern Witches Patreon, we dug into some beautiful books. And if you want to talk about that and that practice, it was pretty grand and epic. And I was only able to participate a bit because we have had our fair share of wild family things going on that really have dominated my time in 2022 so far. But I'd love to hear you talk about the Great Cosmic Mother.
Sure. Yes. The Great Cosmic Mother was our book club. And I think I need to talk to this amazing witch in our coven named Deborah, who was helping us lead this amazing book club where we really dug in deeply to this amazing, huge text. So we were talking about doing the second half of the book together.
Beautiful.
And also thinking about other books too. I think something that's on my mind for Modern Witches is doing a Sylvia Federici book club.
Yeah. Please do.
Is a huge influence of mine, but their text can be daunting, I think. It's really quite gritty and intellectual on some level. So
a little dense.
Sorry?
A little bit dense, like heavier reading. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's really important, I think, for witches to be aware of the work that Sylvia Federici has done. So I'm hoping to bring that into the cauldron soon. Yeah.
Yes, please. In the chat, wonderful Cole, I love you so much. Cute Heart said that they have a fantasy recommendation that they just started called Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. They're loving it so far. It's a thick book. We're talking about thick books right now, heavier, denser books. That's Rain of Gold. It's incredible. And you have a little bit to get through in the beginning of establishing characters, but it's a true story. It's the story of their grandmothers, and it's epic and amazing, and it really healed me at a really important time where I was going through some physical healing years and years ago. It's a beautiful book. Thank you so much for these recommendations. I have a question in the chat here from Yvonne. Thanks for asking, Yvonne. Any great books for Wicca rituals?
Oh, yeah.
Can I defer to you on that, Casey?
Sure. That's a great question.
I'm just going to tell you, we have mutuals that we're in love with, ways that we adore magical folks. Casey and I do. And one person that we center our love on besides Joni Mitchell, which has to be a witch. Joni's got to be a witch,
Oh, yeah.
is the dearly departed Scott Cunningham,
Yes.
who is an herbalist, a powerful, powerful witch. And I literally could cry thinking about how they have given so much to our community, and from beyond the veil, they still just nurture us so, so much with their adoration of plants. So get your hands on the Scott Cunningham Encyclopedia of Herbs.
Oh, herbalism. Yes.
Herbalism, yeah. I mean, all their books are incredible, but you got to just think about that open road. They were down here in San Diego in California, just like nobody else was doing it.
Totally.
And just being queer and phenomenal and so enthusiastic, and just down there in zone 10B, which is like near perfect, you know. There's a little spot in Florida, a little spot in California where our gardening zone is just so perfect. It's incredible. So yes, all Scott Cunningham books. Can I speak for both of us, Casey?
Oh my goodness. Yes. 100%. I guess someone who was maybe more contemporary. I'm a huge like I started my witchcraft practice with vintage, like old school Wiccan books. So I try to think of like who's maybe a little bit more contemporary. But one of my favorite authors is Rhea Beth, Raebeth.
I'm writing that down. Will you spell that one more time? Raebeth. I'm going to write that in our chat right now.
Yeah, and they are in the UK, and they have some really gorgeous books. So coming up from that kind of perspective, and also Gemma Gary, if you're interested in like traditional witchcraft of the British Isles, they would be a good, a good place to go. Yes, LL Gawk, Starhawk. Yes. So like anything in the reclaiming tradition is really gorgeous and centers more of like the social justice approach to witchcraft.
Exactly. And just the regard for the dirt, the earth, the soil, the foundation of magic, where we hold the secrets of new life through death. Yeah, anybody that's going to talk about dirt is going to have great, great rituals. So Starhawk is fabulous for that. Yesterday or the day before, when Casey and I were chatting about our broadcast today, we did talk about the magic of Wiser Books. They've been around for a really long time. One of the main editors there is Judica Illis, and I hope I'm saying their last name correctly. I don't know if I am.
I think it's Isles, but I don't know.
Oh, please. Will you say their name then, please, Casey? So it's like,
yeah, Judica Isles.
Oh, Isles. That makes so much sense.
I think
I'm
so.
famous for just trashing people's names and having to ask over and over again for another pronunciation. But Judica is an incredible writer, and their Encyclopedia of 5,000 Spells, or whatever it's called, all their books are beautiful. I think that that's a modern witch who is creating things because they love research so much. It's like their favorite part about being a writer is all the research before. So their books are beautiful. Highly recommend.
And I want to say too, books are my favorite thing. And you can really learn the most about ritual by just playing, to bring it back to Leo season and this Leo new moon. Like really thinking about what it would mean for you to experience a ritual that you created for yourself.
Yeah.
And just putting yourself in that container and exploring and listening to your intuition, I think. Yeah.
It's true. I love the whole team over at Wiser, so I'm just going to just tell you straight up. A good friend of mine is Teresa Reed, the tarot lady, who has a ton of books, everything from like coloring books to tarot for kids and tarot for troubled times. And they just have really been very physically responsive in the time that I've known them for the last 5 years to the energies that emerge constantly in our culture, and then crank a book out about it. So if you want to know somebody that's really like actively, constantly writing, really, really productive, really prolific, that's a really good recommendation as well, sweeties. But honestly, I'm a used bookstore person. Like, get me into like the thicker the dust, the happier the witch for me. Like, I want something like strange and old where I have to decipher the kind of dialect and language that was used back in those times. And, but then honestly, this is like will be a forever fave for me. Rashonda Tramble's Numinous Tarot Guide is epic, and highly, highly recommend, y'all. Highly recommend.
I want to shout out really quickly because our friend Maria Minnis has a book coming out with Wiser that's going to be really amazing.
I can't wait to hear all about it. Tell me what you know.
Yeah, so I only know that they're I don't know when it's coming out, but it's their social justice in the tarot, which they have
That was epic.
And now they're writing a beautiful full-length book about it. So stay tuned for that. Yeah.
Brilliant. Yes, definitely follow them on Instagram and hook into all of that. Please, y'alls. So who's ready for some tarot fun? I'm just looking at our notes really quick. And do you feel like you had like the harvest fairies and ripening fruit covered enough, Casey? Because I saw that in your notes and I love it so, so much.
Yeah, I kind of do. I feel like this whole experience has been sort of harvesting for me. It feels
it's really true.
You all. Thank you for sharing your book recommendations. I'm super excited about.
Yeah, me too. Thank you so much, y'all. So if you would like to take a moment and shuffle your deck, do. I'm going to, because I accidentally already saw the card that we will be unearthing, talking about dirt, talking about new moons, dark soil, the richness of rest, the radical act of resting that we do on the new moon, and sharing with each other here. Casey and I take this really seriously, turning this into a big, like, super specific production that's got a huge itinerary that would be counter to what the new moon is. So it's our commitment to keep this really loose and open and learn with you and from you as well. So this tarot prompt, this tarot action, this tarot play, just was so wonderfully sort of like divined between us quickly when we were talking about things that we get up to. Casey's got a really gorgeous class that's all about the Lover's Year, and it'll be available for you really, really soon. And this underpins this tarot practice and tarot play prompt that just popped right out of my mouth right when Casey was talking about their class that they're creating. So Casey, can you talk a little bit about what you have to offer soon?
Sure. The class is ready for you all. So you can.
Oh, it's up.
It's up. It's purchased. I taught this class in February on the Leo full moon. So that's cool. I just realized.
It really is.
And it's my Tarot for Lovers workshop. And I have taught this in the past. I've spent a lot of time thinking about the lovers because it's my soul card and personality card. And we really dive deeply into like the esoteric energy of the lovers. We talk about Love&Magick and sort of ethics around Love&Magick, love divination practices, and doing relationship spreads, self-love spreads. So this class is really a great jumping off point in terms of all your Love&Magick that you want to practice this year in the year of the lovers.
Wow.
and you leave with 3 spreads and some spell ingredients. So it's a really fun class. Um, and you can get that on my profile at Wanderers Tarot. And
Amazing. So it's a digital experience, correct?
it's a
That you
digital.
pretty much click it and there it shows up for you for however you need it. I love that. Thank you so much. So in the spirit of our timing right now, because here we are in the Northern Hemisphere in summer, we're looking at the back end of the year now, y'all. So how is it that we want to kind of like take what we have learned and what we've endured in the first half of the Lovers Year of 2022, and what lessons are kind of showing up and what support is showing up? When I talked a little bit about Leo season having Cancer season before, that I feel like really softens the soil, like when you take something and water before you dig, just to soften things up. That was us in Cancer season, feeling all our feelings and really admitting to ourselves the truth about where we are right in that moment. And now here we are, ready to be at those picnics, ready to have that multi-generational wisdom and knowledge, and kind of be outside and really rest and be there for our bodies, be sensitive to our needs, right? We're coming out of that sensitive Cancer time. Well, what's on the other side of that? Here comes that earthy Virgo season, right, honey? So we decided to prompt everyone to take their well shuffled deck and sift through, and don't pull out your lover's card. Locate your lover's card in your deck. And then the card just after it, the foundation just after it, is some wisdom and some energy that we can bring into the second half of the year, the back end of the Lover's Year. So let's go for it. Find your Lover's card. Don't pull it out. Look at the card just after the Lover's card, okay? Of course, I got my Moon Baby Magic Tarot, which honestly, y'all, this little puppy has just changed my life so deeply. And I think you've got your Wanderer's Tarot there, right, Casey?
Oh.
Yeah, having all the skin in the game, we two witches are.
Mhm.
I have located my lover's card, and I'm going with the card that's just beyond it. So I guess it could look like it's over or under. Do we care, y'all? Do we care?
Whichever way you're going, like what's the next card?
Exactly, the card after, exactly. So, do you care to share
Oh,
which card is after your lovers?
I am surprised to see the Emperor.
Ooh, wow.
I know.
Uh, that reminds me of your soft launch of your big news and announcement, my love.
It does remind me of that. And
You
I
know,
feel
that you get to keep being there for yourself.
totally, yeah, writing, I often think of the Emperor as like a writer, which is probably not what most people think of, but
Yeah,
they're,
but tell me more about that.
yeah, they're authoring their own destiny, right? They're like in control of the narrative in a lot of ways. So
Totally.
I think the Emperor is like writing into or, leaning into what that structure is going to look like that's going to support me moving forward. So it's exciting.
It's so exciting. Can I look at that image on your
Mhm.
Emperor really quick? It's beautiful. I love your deck so much.
Thank
So
you.
it's just so wonderfully out there and has this sparseness. It's just beautiful art.
Thank you so much.
So, sweeties, my lover's card has the foundation, which is watery. I've got the Four of Waves with the keyword fulfillment, and it's wonderfully, my sweetie and I, Jason and I, created every single one of these cards side by side together. That's a bizarre and epic thing to do. I've been working on this deck for a very long time. And when it came time to push over the finish line, we sat card by card creating like the rhythm and the structure of this deck. And this is their favorite card, which is fun because they're a Cancer Sun and Cancer Moon. Um, So the Four of Waves keyword of fulfillment is a really big deal right now. It's really truly not just taking your own oxygen mask first before you help others. It's taking big drinks of how you need to fill each cell of your body. What are you telling? Now, if you think of the cells of your body as like your children,
Mm.
that are really relying on you for care, that uphold so many systems by caring and hydrating yourself and plumping and filling each one of those cells. You're really like saying, like, I'm acknowledging the big job that you're doing, every single cell of my body. Thank you so much for upholding all the systems that keep this animal going, keep this ethos moving. And when I drink deeply from the cup, I'm acknowledging, the power of every single cell of our body. Wow, that was the download.
Yes. Wait, can I see that card closely? What's the
Sure. It's dolphins, one of them leaping from the hand
Oh my,
into the ocean.
I love that. The
And
dolphin.
it's the big super moon is in the background,
Yeah,
so the red is the big super moon, blood
gorgeous.
moon. Yeah, it's fun. You got to keep it weird when it comes to artwork, y'all. You got to
Yeah,
keep it weird. It's your job.
true.
If you can't tell the wildest tale that you've got inside of you, no one will. Or worse yet, someone will assign your story to you if you don't tell it. So tell your story, y'all. What kind of cards are folks pulling in the chat? Is anybody willing to share what their back end of their lover's year wisdom is? While waiting for that to come in, I want to tell y'all that my sweetie launched their YouTube channel in 2022. That's been their lovers enactment. And they've been playing around with different ideas about what they're communicating. And they finally created a video in Cancer season. Actually, it's all there. It was created on summer solstice of us digging out an old vintage trailer, and their YouTube channel's blown up. They've had thousands and thousands of views in the last 3 weeks. They've created 3 videos all digging out this beautiful trailer that we got from a family matriarch that are all moving to Mississippi and bringing the very aged grandma with them. And her name was Wanda. So we lovingly named this trailer Wanda in honor of the matriarch of the family. And the theme of my sweetie's channel has totally emerged, which is about loving things back to life and not giving up on yourself and giving yourself second chances and giving things that are could fill a landfill a second chance. So I think you're really going to dig it. Go over to What Would Jason Do? And I'll pop it in the chat if I can totally figure that out without breaking our stream, and show you how magic it is that their favorite card came up, and to just enjoy another awesome YouTube channel, cuties. This is a big moment for my family. It's a way forward for us.
It's very exciting.
Do you think that when you pulled your Emperor card that this is about structures moving forward, Casey?
Yeah,
That's what I thought of right away.
absolutely. I think, the lovers is about choices and commitments, and it's a year of making really beautiful, heart-centered commitments.
Yeah.
And so to have the emperor there, it feels really kind of affirming, you know?
Totally.
Yeah.
There's some great cards coming up in the chat right now. I love seeing this. Emily pulled the beautiful 3 of Cups.
Lovely.
Cole pulled the 8 of Waves, which is awesome with the keyword fantasize. Thanks for sharing that, Cole. I featured in the chat Amy's card that they pulled, which is the Ace of Blades reversed. So the keyword becomes revisit. Abby Lynn, it's good to see you. Pulled the 5 of Pentacles. Nathan, hi, it's good to see you. They pulled the Strength card. I love it. And Kate LaGrosse, I think that's how you would say your name, pulled the Hierophant or Hierophant or Hierophant. Honestly, the ways that word is spoken, Casey, weigh in. How do you say it?
I say it both ways.
I say it always too.
I say it all the
Super,
ways. Yeah,
super slutty with the Hierophant.
I love that.
Or the Hierophant, it doesn't matter. But yeah, Amy has a really fabulous way of communicating. They have one of my favorite podcasts, which is called the Soft Landing Podcast, which is all about accessibility in design. And their episode yesterday, I was packing up more than 60 orders for everybody in my Patreon to celebrate our first year over at Patreon. And I was listening to their last episode, which is all about I Love Lucy. It's called Time Warp, and it was all about the decor in I Love Lucy. It's the
Oh,
best episode. The episode before that was about Florence Knoll, which is like the absolute like godmother of modern decor, and created the womb chair, the Barcelona chair. Like, design witches, can I get a hell yes in the chat? So Amy's got a really cool podcast over there. So you got so many tools now, honeys, for rest. You can go for a nice nature walk listening to a podcast. You can watch some gorgeous YouTube channels of digging out an old 1961 Shasta trailer. There's so much stuff that you can do. And if you have the opportunity to like either work with the sunflower, those are really powerful for the Leo new moon too, because sunflowers signify friendship and being sensitive to your needs and befriending your body and loving yourself and being a best friend to yourself is the top thing. And
yeah.
I know that that can be really unpopular in our culture when we're supposed to be doing all the things for everyone else. Every new moon, that's just once every 28 days. Really be there for yourself on your own terms, my loves. I'm going to just sneak peek really quick the book that I just created, that this is what I've been shipping out when I was listening to the Soft Landing podcast. This is my little book of Luna that I created for my honeys to celebrate our 1-year anniversary over in my witchcraft club. And I'm going to be honest with you, I'm going to lay some more skin in the game. I have had so much tragedy befall me in 2022 that I have had a very difficult time working physically. And I've had no problem holding space. Like, I've been there every Thursday with my Sacred Sweethearts tier in my witchcraft club. I haven't missed a single Thursday. I've been able to be there as a witch, as a person in need. But doing all the things and communicating all the things and physically creating everything, I just haven't been able to do it. It's been a wild year of having to actually practice what I preach. And that's been very magical for me. So I found a way to catch up. And the little book of Luna has detachable moon phase cards for all the different moon phases. So you can cut them out of the book,
So cute.
or you can come join my Patreon and have some fun with the art. I put in high quality acid free archival paper for drawing and dreaming. So there's a couple of different pages after each moon phase, or you can detach all these cards. Part of my Patreon is mailing to 2 of the tiers a postcard each month. So now I've caught up with all 8 of them by creating a celebration of the 8 turns of the wheel of the year of the witch's calendar, which is 8 phases. And there's 8 phases of the moon. So I created this little detachable deck with some art pages in between. And my sweetie and I even created a little pocket. See, now I have the prototype. Oh, I'm going to grab one. Hold tight. Get to see the whole fit. Fit check. Pardon me,
Yeah.
y'all. We created a little pocket, sweeties. Look how cute this is. With this gorgeous Stonehenge 100% cotton unbleached paper. So you'll be able to keep some sacreds in the back of your book. I'm just really proud of this because I had to rest. When you create 60 books, you have to collate 27 pages. We did our own binding, which is really
Wow,
magical for us, and just
that's amazing.
spend time together. It's been such a blast.
Oh, what a beautiful thing you've done. I mean, it's I just want to honor that, like, you've been able to rest and create at the same time, because that is not easy.
No,
And I think you have to
not.
find the thing you like doing, you know? It's all about joy and pleasure.
I had to forgive myself first for my lack of productivity. I just kept showing up week after week after week with my Sacred Sweetheart Patreon and just say, I can't work.
Yeah,
I can't work, you know, and they know more intimate details. We really hold each other's, you know, privacy and perfect love and perfect trust. So they know more intimate details of what I've been actually coping with in some kind of near death crazy things that have gone on, you know, in my actual immediate family, and other ridiculous things surrounding being a witch in these ages of time. Man, it is a crazy time right now to be a practicing witch. To be an out and practicing witch is challenging, to say the very least, with all the scammers and wild things that we have to deal with inside of just existing is wild. So I'm excited that my spirit guides have led me to a place where I could create something that's so flexible. Like if you want it to be like your little lunar deck, you can detach those cards and shuffle them and use them in your book of shadows. They can be a bookmark. They can be fun. It can be its own little lunar book of shadows that you hold out just for your lunar practice. I'm excited that it happened. So thank goodness for returned energy. And it feels right that it's Leo season when I'm able to ship this stuff out. It feels right.
absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's beautiful.
I'm just looking if there's other things that we wanted to share, sweeties. It looks like we've got it together. I like it.
It's so nice to see. And I mean, at the beginning people were sharing all their Leo placements, and I just want to honor everyone who has Leo placements right now, and all the shifting that's happening, and people who have Taurus placements right now. Um, just wanting those people with fixed signs really to just be gentle with yourselves right now.
Say
Um,
more, please.
yeah, I mean, we have this new moon in Leo, and then we have that Mars Uranus North Node activation, and the North and South nodes are in Taurus and Scorpio right now. So those are all the fixed signs, and when things are happening in fixed signs, it affects all the fixed signs, usually depending on the degree. So there's a lot of change that's moving through us, and
Mhm.
fixed energy doesn't love change. So yeah, finding your own way to like shapeshift, bring in some of that transformative Caradwin energy, um, make your own magical potion, and just be tender with your process.
Yeah. Really, honestly, the most important thing is being really centering of your sensitivities, because that's your power.
Yeah,
Your ability to feel sensation, your ability to locate your sensitivities is your power. It truly is.
I love that. It's very true.
Casey and I adore everybody that shows up. It ends up being several hundred folks over the weeks after that view our video session, and it means the world to us. Please take a second and like today's video and subscribe to both of our channels, because this space is a search engine and it's really important to us, and it really matters. If you could take a second and do that, it costs you nothing. And you know what? You get to shape your algorithm, sweeties. You'll start getting more sincere, gorgeous, giving witches in your life when you like and subscribe to really good witches YouTube channels. So thank you so much for being here today. We adore you. And if without further, I will just tell you, go rest, go relax, go have some snacks, go enjoy your day.
Yes, have a beautiful new moon, and sending everyone so many blessings, and enjoy the rest of Leo season too.
Yeah. Happy birthday to you, Casey, and all the Leos out there.
Happy
Sending you
birthday.
so much love, honeys. Take good care. Thanks for being here.
Bye.